Hello and a very good morning to all of you. It's Thursday the 9th of April, and as we speak, of course, we are getting closer to what everybody in the nation is looking forward to, which is the Sinhala and Tamil New Year. And I'm sure most of you, some of you at least, are on holiday from today itself, whereas most corporate institutions will be getting holidays from tomorrow. Nevertheless, I'm sure most of us will be celebrating the upcoming Sinhala and Tamil New Year. My name is Malsam Ismail and you're watching Good Morning Sri Lanka on MTV Sports. Now, I've not been doing the show for quite some, actually I've not been doing the show for a while now, but it's good to be back in the studio. And of course, in my absence, there's been a lot of things that have been happening. Of course, we heard about Margaret Thatcher's death. There's an earthquake that went off in Iran recently, and of course there's a lot of tension between South Korea and North Korea. But amongst all, here in Sri Lanka, a lot of people seem to be complaining about the weather. Now, of course, the weather has not been completely consistent during the past week, but it has been between 29 to about 32 degrees Celsius, even though a lot of people have been complaining about the humidity. And even though the temperature did reach 32 Celsius, the comfort level was not that great. The humidity levels were actually quite high. Of course, we'll be talking about the little areas which I spoke to you later on during the show. We've got a few updates on Margaret Thatcher's funeral, and of course we'll be talking a little bit about the situation in Iran and South Korea and North Korea as well. But of course, we don't have a guest in the show this morning, but we do have some very interesting content coming up. And to start off with, I would like to show you something which is actually taking place in Bollywood. Now, Bollywood seems to be getting into a supernatural twist with they're trying out something like horror movies. Let's check this out.
Bollywood actors Konkona Sen Sharma and Homa Qureshi promoted the upcoming horror film Ek Thi Dayan by releasing a book on the same in the entertainment capital Mumbai on Wednesday. Addressing media persons, Sharma said that her journey during the film's making was interesting and lauded the director Kannan Iyer for his work.
But I'd like to say it's more of a supernatural thriller than a horror film. ज़्यादा कुछ तो मैं बोल नहीं सकती हूँ because that would be revealing, I think, too much. But it was a wonderful experience सबके साथ काम करना, especially Kannan Iyer, who is our director, who could not be here today. But I think he's done a fabulous job, and the music is amazing. There are great actors in the film. It's a great collaboration.
The film's music has been composed by director-producer Vishal Bhardwaj and the lyrics penned by Gulzar. Bollywood producer Ekta Kapoor said that the film does not promote superstition but has its roots in the folk tales about witches. The film has been in news for its innovative marketing techniques, with Kapoor producing a mini-series starring acclaimed television actresses. The film also features actors Imran Hashmi and Kalki Koechlin and is slated to release on April 18, 2013.
So sweet. I could just eat you up.
Well, Ek Thi Dayan is supposed to be the name of the movie which is going to premiere in the near future. The little video which you just saw, that was what it was all about. And of course, the director does describe it as a new era of fear. Now, of course, we who are Bollywood fans, we are usually used to the whole conventional norms of Bollywood, where you get the dramas with the music, a lot of song and dance, and of course the usual love stories and stuff. And I'm sure this will be quite a nice twist and something different to expect with this release, which is Ek Thi Dayan, which is the name of the movie. A supernatural twist indeed. Coming back to another interesting little story. Now, we all know this famous celebrity who starred in the series Apprentice. Now, he may fire people each week on his show, but when it comes to the WWE crowd, Donald Trump is one who's apparently not so welcome. Now, during his induction into the WWE Hall of Fame on Saturday night at Madison Square Garden in New York, the crowd in attendance unceremoniously booed Donald Trump during his speech. Now, Trump was introduced by his friend Vince McMahon, who reportedly tried to quiet the crowd, but the booing apparently continued. Interestingly enough, Trump wasn't the only person booed that night. His son Donald Trump Jr. was reportedly booed all the way out of the building. Of course, when we do watch Apprentice, there are those two famous words we keep hearing in every show, which is of course popular quite globally, which is "you are fired." You're fired, rather. And of course, it's not a very welcome kind of line when it's said to the particular person. He did gain a lot of popularity during the show, but it seems like not many. There's a certain segment of people that don't really like him too much. Of course, coming back to a few more interesting stuff, I'm going to play a little video which is "Never Be Alone," which is actually a music video by Deep Side DJs. Check it out.
In my soul, in my soul. I never make you cry, make you cry, make you cry. You give me sunrise with your smile. I'll never be alone. Cause you are in my soul, in my soul, in my soul. I never make you cry, make you cry, make you cry. You give me sunrise with your smile. I'll never be alone. Give me all the love, 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 and I give you mine. Alright, give me all the love, 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 and I give you mine. Alright, give me all the love, 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 and I give you mine.
little bit of tunes coming your way just to brighten up your Thursday morning. Well, we are in the verge of celebrating the Sinhala and Tamil New Year, which is just about to pop up before you know it. And like I said, I'm sure some of you are on holiday from today itself. But if you're not, I'm sure you will be celebrating your holidays maybe tomorrow or the day after. Of course, the song which we played to you was Never Be Alone by Deep Side DJs. One of the latest things we heard was about the late Margaret Thatcher, so known as the Iron Lady. Now, of course, it has been announced that her funeral will be on the 17th of April. Now, the funeral of late British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher will be held with full military honours on April 17th, with the Queen in attendance, officials have announced. Now, Buckingham Palace said on Tuesday that Queen Elizabeth II and her husband Prince Philip would attend the ceremony at St. Paul's Cathedral, which is expected to draw dignitaries from around the globe. Now, more than 700 armed forces personnel drawn from all three services will take part in the funeral of Lady Thatcher, Downing Street has said. And Thatcher's coffin will be carried into St. Paul's Cathedral by bearers from units particularly associated with the Falklands War. Now, here's something interesting. David Cameron's official spokesperson confirmed that details of the cost to the public purse would be published after next Wednesday's service had taken place. However, when asked about the reports that it could cost nearly 8 million or around approximately 10 million pounds, the spokesman said he had not seen figures along those lines. He said the Thatcher family would make a contribution to the cost of the funeral, but it would be up to them whether they choose to reveal how much they paid. Now, of course, there's a lot of people who's going to be like really upset with the late Margaret Thatcher. Of course, as you know, Margaret Thatcher is the only female Prime Minister who was in office in Britain, and she was also the Prime Minister who actually held office for the longest period of time. But there are a lot of people out there who aren't fans of Margaret Thatcher. Now, anarchist groups have been started on social networking sites, Facebook and Twitter, in preparation, including one called "If Thatcher Does Get a State Funeral, We Will Riot." Some of the groups are attempting to instigate pickets and protests, while others are posting advice to those planning to riot. One post published this morning on the website for Indymedia, a notorious Bristol-based anarchist group, warns, "I suspect there are thousands of people out there who think that having a party is not enough. They want to be there at a straight funeral." Of course, there's some stuff being planned on social media just to riot around Margaret Thatcher's funeral, but of course the armed personnel are supposed to be prepared for it. That being said, we are going to go in for a short break, and we're going to come in and discuss a few more interesting stories. We'll be right back.